Hey guys, good morning. Today is April 2nd. We are finally starting our content. We're starting actual math. Like I had told you guys at the beginning, what we're going to be doing a lot of is reviewing old stuff before I start showing you new stuff. Okay, just as we get the hang of all of this Teams thing. So today we're going to be reviewing adding and subtracting integers. So integers, by the way, you don't have this paper. So what I want you guys to do right now is pause the video, get a pencil, get a paper, and you're going to write some of these notes down. So whatever I highlight, I want you guys to write down. So if it is highlighted, you should write it down on your own paper, and then you can use these notes for IXL later on, because that's going to be your assignment for today, IXL. So integers can also be added and subtracted using an algorithm. Now, algorithm sounds so complicated, but basically it's just a set of rules, and we know the rules. So if two values have the same sign, then you add them and use the same sign. So kind of like the song, same signs, add and keep. So I'm highlighting this, meaning I want you guys to take some time to write this down. So a positive plus a positive number will give you a positive number. Write this down. A negative number plus a negative number is going to give you a negative. Notice how it's plus. Okay, that's very important. So same signs, you add and keep the sign. Okay, different signs. So if the signs are different, then subtract and take the sign of the number with the greatest absolute value, or take the sign of the larger number, how I say it in the song. So I'm highlighting this. So I want you guys to write this down. Put a little star right here. Extra points. So if you guys send me a video through the chat box of you guys singing the song, I'll give you guys extra points for your assignment. So extra points. Send video of singing the song. So same signs, add and keep, different signs, subtract. Take the sign of a larger number, then you'll be exact. Yeah, that was beautiful, right guys? Okay, so those are the rules for adding integers. So let me do a couple of practice problems. I want you guys to write them down. So the first one I'm going to do, you're going to write down -9 plus 6. So I'm going to think about the rules. Same signs? Well, no. I have a negative plus a positive. So I have different signs. So different signs subtract. So for right now, I'm going to subtract those two numbers. So ignore that. So 9 minus 6, well, I know that gives me 3. Take the sign of the larger number. So if I were to ignore this right there, I know that 9 is larger than 6. So 9 is a negative, so my answer is -3. Take the sign of the larger number, then you'll be exact. Look at the next one. I have 7 plus -3. So I have a positive plus a negative. So I'm going to think about the song. Same signs? Nope, not the same signs. Different signs? Yes. So different signs subtract. 7 minus 3 is 4. Take the sign of the larger number. We're going to ignore that negative. 7 is still larger, so it stays as a positive. So my answer is positive 4. Okay, let's do one more, and I will move on. So now I have a negative plus a negative. So let me think about the song. Same signs, yes, negative and negative. So I add the numbers. 6 plus 8, that gives me 14. So same signs, add and keep the sign. So the sign is negative, so it stays negative. Okay, so that's my answer. All right, so that's adding integers. So adding positives and adding negatives together. So now let's move on to this next part. When a number and its opposite are added, the sum is always going to be 0. Okay, so I'm going to highlight this. If I highlight it, you should write it down. So I highlighted that. So you add those two. If you're adding opposite numbers, then that gives you 0. Opposite numbers would be like -4 and +4. Those are opposites. And that's called your additive inverse. So it's similar to adding the 0 pairs. Okay, so that's adding. Now let's go to subtracting. So the rule for subtracting is you're going to rewrite the problem and add the opposite. So then you follow the rules for adding integers. Okay, write that down. I have it highlighted, so if it is highlighted, you should write it. Now, that sounds super complicated, but the way I taught you was KCO. So when you are subtracting, you do KCO and then follow the rules for adding. So for example, here I do KCO. I keep my 6, change my subtraction to addition, and the opposite of +7 was -7. Write this example down. So now I'm going to follow the regular rules. So 6 plus -7, there's a different signs. So same signs add and keep. Different signs subtract. So 7 minus 6 is 1. Take the sign of the larger number. So which number is larger? 7, right? If I ignore the negative. So it's a negative. -1. Let's look at this example. I want you guys to write this down so it's highlighted. So KCO. Keep my -5. Change my subtraction to addition. And the opposite of 9 is going to be -9. So now I have a new problem. -5 plus -9. Same signs add. So 9 plus 5, that gives me 14. Same signs add and keep the sign. So it stays negative. Okay. Let's do one more. Let's do this last one because this one looks complicated. It has a bunch of negatives and minus. KCO. Keep my -2. Change my subtraction to addition. And the opposite of -10 would be +10. Now I follow my rules. So same signs add and keep, but they're not the same because I have a negative and a positive. So different signs subtract. So 10 minus 2 gives me 8. Take the sign of the number with a larger absolute value, so the larger number. So 10 would be larger than 2, so it stays positive. So my answer is 8, and that's correct. Okay, so you guys saw this video. If you need to, go ahead and replay the video and pause it so you can process it. I'm going to give you an IXL. So after you watch this video, you are going to work on IXL. I will post the lesson on the assignment so you know exactly which IXL to do. So work on IXL. I want you guys to work to a blue, no, sorry, not a blue ribbon. I want you guys to work to a green ribbon. So I want you guys to work until a green ribbon on both of them. Reason I'm having it as a green ribbon is because we've done this before. This is not new stuff for you guys, okay? So green ribbon, I will post the IXL. If you guys have any questions, message me on the chat box.